Welcome to another episode of Everyone Hates Sammy. Tonight in Boston, Mass, they gave it to Sammy's ass because they really hate him no matter who you are, where you're from, what you did. They hate Sammy Guevara, baby. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dynamite from Boston, Massachusetts. And my, oh my, a Boston crowd is certainly going to let you know how they feel, no matter again who you are, where you're from, what you did. If they hate or love you, they'll let you know, baby. So yeah, you're getting this review hours earlier than usual because I decided to take an extra day off because I've been working really, really hard, especially after the last few days where there was a really powerful windstorm that happened Friday night into early Saturday that knocked out the power to many areas, including the entire tri-state area. A platypus? Perry the platypus? No, in all seriousness, the power was out for just over 72 hours. It was kind of stressful, and I needed an extra day off. So, yeah, that's why I decided to watch this live, because why not? Why not have some fun? And boy, did I pick a show to watch. There were a few moments that actually weren't that bad, but honestly, AEW is getting to the point. Khan is booking, he's making it more schizophrenic than one of my ex-girlfriends, and that's certainly saying something. It's just on a pendulum. The good stuff, it's really good. It really sticks out. It's really, whether it's a promo or whether it's a match that's well paced, well built, whatever. And then the bad stuff here is like, God, everything's just thrown in a goddamn blender, spun around to a beautiful oblivion rendezvous, and now I'm through with you, because it seems like some times the fans are just through with everything. Sometimes the ratings will just drop for no reason. They may be unopposed and they'll just say, oh, we don't want to see this. MJF was in a pre-tape. I mean, even Chris Jericho hasn't been proven to be much of a ratings draw. He can sort of hold the ratings. He wasn't on the show, which might explain actually why the show wasn't all that bad. So Excalibur, Taz, and Shivani on commentary, a card rundown, and the heels enter. We get the Firm Ass Boys, as one of my friends coined them. So yeah, Stokely was there. Here's my question about Stokely. Can we really take a guy seriously if he can walk under a closed door and not even have to duck? But they're part of the Firm, that group that has been established for all of 2 months and really hasn't meant much of anything. FTR gets a huge pop. FTR, the best tag team in the world today. My opinion, the opinion of others. You can disagree. You can let me know who your favorite tag team is in the comments, but they're my favorite tag team of this year in particular. So, Max Caster did a pretty good rap. He says, we've got receipts like your Herschel Walker. And it says it make you say sorry like Kyrie Irving. Let's be perfectly honest. I just want to say right now, to get on my soapbox really quick. If you voted for Lauren Boebert or Marjorie Trader Green or Ron DeSantis or Herschel Walker or Greg Abbott, let me just say right now, you're all pieces of shit. You deserve every bad thing that comes your way, because there's such a thing as making sure that you vote along your party lines. There's such a thing as making sure that, okay, you want to vote for people that you feel are the best. At this point, if you're going to go with that side, and I mean that specific extreme, stupid side, you don't care actually about progressing the country in a positive way. You're just showing you're a bigot, that you hate women, that you hate anybody that's not white, and that, or you basically just hate anybody that is a little bit different than you. So I just want to say right now, fuck you, and I hope your children end up abandoning you and you end up alone and afraid, because it's what you deserve. Calling out Chris Irvine, because the Irvine family, quite frankly, that family tree could stand a little bit of, well, not being able to grow at all. Let's just, sterilize them. But nevertheless, let's move on from that, and let's talk about, well, the Herschel Walker line was pretty funny. They could have typed it out and read it to him, and he still wouldn't have understood it because he's a CTE-ridden goddamn jackass. It was a tremendous football player and an idiot. And Kyrie Irving, also a goddamn idiot, who deserves every goddamn bit of ridicule that he's gotten. Wants to be anti-Semitic like Kanye West, wants to promote that, yeah. Cancel him, as the kids say. No, don't worry, he'll just torpedo his own goddamn career, probably burn through his own goddamn money, and nobody will feel bad for him. So, Billy rushes the ring to get at Swerve because he broke his hands. He broke the hands of Daddy Ass, so he can't scissor. And it's FTR and Acclaim versus Swerve in our gun glory. The crowd was into it. It's a Boston scissor party. At least we're not in France, where it could be a scissoring party of a different variety, where blue is truly the warmest color. Okay, look. Multi-man matches, multi-women matches, any of this stuff, it doesn't matter if it's AEW, WWE, New Japan, Impact, whatever. Sometimes they serve a purpose. I get why they put this here. It wasn't dull, but a lot of it blended together. During the break, because the referees are made to be ineffective, except for one part that I'll talk about a little bit later, William Ass Morrissey attacks, and it became a mess. Bodies everywhere, like it was a Von Erich show after 1993. And mic drop, big rig, 1, 2, 3. There you go. And then we get a possible tease of FTR maybe wanting to attack the Acclaimed. Ooh, maybe we could get that. We're going to have to wait a little bit. Probably until after FTR defend the the IWGP Tag Team Championships inside the Tokyo Dome, which is the same day as the first Dynamite of next year. And I'm going to be going to that because that's in Seattle. Barring, of course, unforeseen circumstances like a huge snowstorm or a huge catastrophic event. Wow! No, wrong catastrophic. Footage of MJF on a podcast. I didn't catch the name. I don't really care. He says, oh, you know, he got beat up. His doctors advise him to not really travel. He's doing a podcast. Whatever. I mean, I guess he could travel to do this. I guess it was local. How he... You know, basically, I can't summarize all this. MJF's a tremendous promo, the best heel promo going, because he's really just him. Maybe not even with the volume turned up. I remember seeing him at a couple Defy Northwest wrestling shows just before he was part of the All In show when he was in the opening match against Matt Cross. And it's just great to see how MJF has just grown and gained even more and more confidence. And the guy's tremendous. He's going to go far regardless of what company he's in. Doesn't matter. If companies aren't throwing a king's ransom at this guy in 2024, I don't know what we're doing here. He talks about Jon Moxley, how he does respect him, but also he hates him. Like, you know, you can't hurry love. You know, you just have to wait. It doesn't come easy. It's a land of give and take. Okay, it's a game of give and take, but nevertheless. He goes over who's gotten in his way, who's stopped his growth, how Jericho basically tried to leech off of him for over a year. And that how he will be the champion at Full Gear. He is bound, determined to win the championship. Good promo. Pre-tape with Stokely on a pier. He mentioned something about MJF as talking about constant dick riding and everything. They're really pushing this whole thing that the firm's upset at MJF and it's probably going to end up being a swerve. And they booked themselves into a corner because then it's going to make everybody seem kind of foolish. Because I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried this is one of the things that's going to kind of torpedo the momentum of MJF just when it should be his crowning moment. Hopefully I'm wrong. I do wonder, though, why somebody let their child walk along the pier. I think we need to call Boston Child Protective Services, but nevertheless. Eddie Kingston took on Ethan Page in an AEW World Title quarterfinal tournament eliminator match, whatever the heck. It's a really, really wordy. Stokely was in the corner of Ethan. Ortiz was in the corner of Eddie, and the crowd loved Eddie. AEW will be going to the UK next year. That's certainly going to be interesting. It'll be on tape delay probably, but you know what? I'm going to be all for that. I want to see how the UK fans react to them. I want to see how many they can draw. Are they going to go to a big arena? They probably should. They probably should try to go for something at least 18,000. I guarantee they could fill it. This is all right. Here's the thing. Ethan is fine in the ring. I just don't care for him. I just don't. They called, Stokely standards and practices Jones. That was kind of funny. At one point, a top rope, Ego's Edge, 1, 2, 3. There you go. All right. Whatever. Ethan advances. I guess Eddie's still in the doghouse. I don't know. They've totally just torpedoed Eddie's momentum. Just totally torpedoed. I'm not saying Eddie needed to win this goddamn thing, but I think the bubble has kind of burst on being able to feature him as any kind of contender for the world title. Because Chris Jericho did that feud with him that went absolutely nowhere. Like the barbed wire everywhere match. That was terrible. And even though Eddie threw Chris Jericho into a pile of barbed wire, he still lost the match. So, backstage with Roosh, Jose, they want 10 on their side. And a lot of stuff was said here, and unfortunately, I don't care. Roosh wants to win the tournament, win the title, and then give 10 the first shot. The Dark Order shouldn't be together anymore. They just shouldn't. Nothing against the guys. I'm not saying they should be released, but too many stables, too many groups. It's overkill. Daivari wants the TNT Championship and offers his butler as a consolation prize, and basically says, "Hey Wardlow, you used to be a servant. Now you can have your own." Wardlow then demolishes him. Absolutely demolishes him. And Samoa Joe's there in the corner. And then Wardlow grabs the mic and calls out Hobbs. And then Samoa Joe whacks Wardlow with the goddamn Ring of Honor TV Championship. The camera missed it because apparently the production crew is on the same shit that Tony Khan's on. And yeah, we form a team for no goddamn reason out of mutual respect or lazy, nonsensical booking, which probably the latter. And then we form for no goddamn reason. We have them have some matches. They feud with the Gates of Agony for about 1,000,000 years, and nothing against the Gates of Agony, but just we saw so many variations of that. It got annoying, and now they're broken up because Samoa Joe's going to be a heel and fight Wardlow, and we're doing this, and way to take the steam right off of Hobbs. You can do too many things in one segment and not accomplish anything at the same time. And Khan's kind of proven that. So Jade calls out Nyla. Layla Gray, my goodness, Layla Gray, good God. It's something about being on Rampage. Oh, she's going to be on Rampage? I'll get her. And her little dog, too. No, that's unfair to Vicky. Dogs have a usefulness. Vicky doesn't. We should put Vicky down and bring Eddie back. Face to face, Saraya or Saraya. Saraya, defender of Abuserverse. I will stop calling her that when she apologizes for defending abusers, like her current boyfriend, who's a goddamn piece of shit, a moron, everything. And if she wants to keep doing that, then her slinky neck could be tangled and she can end up in traction for all I care. Britt is there. Shivani was going to moderate it, and they totally took the mic away from him. And Saraya's 100% cleared. Saraya, whatever. Yay. And it's like, okay, cool, she's cleared. By what doctor? By what uncredited doctor? Anyway, Britt says there's nothing more fickle than an AEW crowd. Unfortunately, she's not wrong, and it's not just AEW crowds, it's crowds in general. I've been part of fickle crowds. I've been a fickle fan at times myself. We can be fickle creatures. We're creatures of fickle pickle habit. So anyway, she talks about how she helped build this from the ground up, and you left your house and now you're in mine, and we don't take walk-ins, you got to make an appointment. Then Saraya fires back, goes over all the stuff, and look, the whole thing about the sex tape being leaked, that was bullshit, and jokes are one thing, but there were people that were really mean-spirited about it. There were. It is not the worst triple threat that was talked about in wrestling. That would be in Fayetteville, Georgia on June 23rd and 24th, 2007. It was actually the 2 out of 3 Falls edition and everything, and I'm going to keep saying that until people stop defending the man that killed his family. Nevertheless, she goes over all the stuff, how she got hit by a car, but she wrestled that same day. That sounds like a really stupid move. And she got hit by the car so hard that she said she wrestled in the Tokyo Dome. Has she wrestled in the Tokyo Dome? Genuine question, because my Japanese knowledge I thought was somewhat good, but I don't remember her ever wrestling in the Tokyo Dome. She probably wrestled in Japan, Korakuen Hall, maybe the Nippon Budokan. I don't know. But I don't think she wrestled in the Tokyo Dome. Was she part of that Beast in the East show that WWE did? I don't remember what venue that was, but it certainly wasn't the fucking Tokyo Dome. The full gear is set, and a DDT drop to seal it and everything, and I don't think the crowd oohed and awed, but I don't think they're into this I don't think they're as into this as Tony Khan and everybody was hoping. Saraya doesn't mean anything. She barely gets, she poured her heart out. I'll give her that much credit. The problem is, it's hard to really care about somebody that still defends abusers and dates abusers and keeps acting like, they aren't who they are. So maybe she should actually look in the goddamn mirror, assuming she can twist her slinky neck around to do that. So, pre-tape with Lethal, Dutt, Giant Silva Jr., QT, and Cole Carter, I think it was. Danhausen and Orange Cassidy, the best friends, join up, and Trent challenges Lethal for Dynamite. And then we cut to Trent being attacked by Lethal during his entrance, and then they have a match that goes nowhere. Goes goddamn nowhere, because nobody cares, or the vast majority of people don't care about these groups. Danhausen tries to curse Dutt, or tries to curse Giant Silva Jr., then hits Dutt in the nuts, the Dutt nuts as it were, and then Giant Silva Jr. headbutts him. Then he takes a really bad bump to the outside, and then Trent gets hit with the lethal injection. This was bad. This was really, really bad. Even if I liked the people involved in this, this didn't do anything for anybody. So, here, Dutt then yells on stage, tells Schiavone to sit down about 8 million times. Here's Jeff Jarrett. Well, he talks about all the great stuff he's done in wrestling and nothing about the promotions that he's ruined and nothing about the amount of dimes that he's drawn in wrestling because he has broken now 6,001 guitars, as I said on the last Dynamite review, and still hasn't drawn a dime. And he runs down some tech guy and who's trying to cut him off, and it's going to be Darby and Sting against Lethal and Jarrett at Full Gear because we are bound and determined to recreate every single WCW moment on this earth. Watch them have a whole bunch of fake Stings like they did. What was it? Halloween Havoc? Was it Halloween Havoc 99? 2000? They were 2000. Halloween Havoc 2000. Bunch of fake Stings. They're going to do it. They're going to fucking do it. Watch. So anyway, Renee is there with Jungle Boy. Oh. He's got a challenge for Luchasaurus and Christian Cage about Full Gear, and I think he's either going to say it on Rampage or Dynamite. And got to be honest, I'm having a hard time really caring much about Jungle Boy, even though he's talented. They don't know what they're doing with a lot of people. They have talent and they have no direction. Wild Thing, you make Boston sing. Regal's in the ring with him. Mox cuts a really good promo talking about how he's worked hard. Regal stretched him. Haha, Regal stretch. And how Regal taught him a whole lot. And that Mox learned that and I believe had Regal's last match, because I think he had his last match sometime in 2012. And then Regal became the GM sometime after. I know he's a scout, and then he became the GM for a while. And then they let him go stupidly, and now he's helping out AEW, at least as much as he can. Maybe if some of the younger people will listen to him, listen to a veteran, that's okay. Some of these young people don't need to listen. They can clearly be over on themselves, and one of them wasn't on the show tonight. So he talks about MJF, how, yes, you are talented, but you pretend to be something you're not. You have not paid your dues nearly enough. You talk about all that you've done. You're a pillar, but you haven't had any pressure on your back. You haven't put stuff on your back. You're going to have to fight for everything because you've had everything easy up to this point. And at Full Gear, it's going to be, rip, roar, and good time. Actually, it's just going to be a fight for the life. So, more Elite Deletion. We know they're showing up at Full Gear. I don't know why this is shocking. It's also proof that Tony Khan is going to make it difficult for any other big free agents to come in. Because it's like, oh, okay, he's going to side with people who have not been proven to be ratings draws lately. And he's going to not side with somebody that got him quite a bit of money. Granted, Punk was probably going to leave anyway, but nevertheless. The Elite are pretty much just little bitches, if we're perfectly honest. Omega is not nearly as good as most people say he is, in my own opinion. And the Bucks ain't even in the top 20 of best tag teams of the last, 15 years. So, Jamie Hayter, oh, Jesus Christ, Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue. Rebel and Britt were there, and Tony Storm was in the corner of Sky Blue. Scintillating camera work during this match, I gotta say. Sky Blue is not bad. She had a nice code red. She still needs time to develop. She has some good energy, I'll give her that, and she hits some decent kicks. Jamie Hayter had to be there for a lot of that stuff and really put herself in the right place, but she is talented. I miss Thunder Rosa is what I noted here. I hope Thunder Rosa is healing up and can come back soon. And then we get a Ripcord Lariat, the Hater Maker, as it were, or the Hate Maker. 1, 2, 3. Not bad. Please get Hayter some... Sky Blue... Putting people over doesn't bother me, but I think they could find ways to maybe give Jamie more squash matches. And maybe you could put a few more matches on there, and you could do something. It was what it was. Nothing against Sky Blue, but Jamie Hayter winning a match he probably should have won sooner. That's all right. So Brian Cage versus Dante Martin in a tournament match on Rampage. They gave both these guys mic time, and only Dante sounded like he understood what the words meant. Marvez is suddenly there with Lance Archer, who's immediately 2 feet to his right, and he's beating up Ricky Starks. Also, Archer has white dreads, or white braid now. And he's beating up Starks, and then suddenly, after Archer leaves, he says, "We need some help." Marvez is useless on camera. Speaking of useless, Sammy Guevara and Ty Kunte. You just say right now, Ty needs to learn her place is not anywhere near or around the ring and go the fuck away. She was fine last year. She has proven to be a careless twat that loves to injure people or doesn't care if she injures people, and there you go. Trade Sammy for Brittany Griner. That sign, I salute that fan. I salute them. Okay, Danielson gets a pop. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match. I'm just going to summarize it like this. They go at it for a little bit. Ty distracts just long enough for Sammy to use a chair. Hey, they let the referee actually call a DQ. Good. They don't utilize the DQ that often, but that also means they make the referee seem ineffective. They have to look over here for like about 15, fucking years until, oh wait, how's all this weird stuff? Where's all this? Why is all this furniture? Why is all this weird stuff here? But I didn't see it, so I can't call it, even though there's a giant goddamn screen I could look at sometimes. And Sammy is down 1-0, beats the hell out of Brian, hits him in the head a lot, and busts, his eye open. He's bleeding, and continues to beat him up. Eventually, after the break, hits a GTH, and there you go. So it's 1-1. Then they battle back and forth, back and forth. They hit some moves. Everybody was just booing Sammy. There were "fuck you, Sammy" chants. There were "you still suck" chants. They were booing him when he almost botched jumping up to the top. Thankfully, he didn't hurt himself or whatever. I mean, let's not have Sammy, accidentally hurt himself by doing something stupid. He'll do that next week because he's clueless. And we get Poison Rana at one point. And then we get the, do Boost Psycho knee, the Boost Cycle knee as I call it. And that's countered into a Boston Crab and a Lion Tamer. And then the Senton got countered. And then we get elbows. And then we get a bell lock and a stretch and everything. And Sammy couldn't shoulder the responsibility, and he taps out. Or actually, he passes out. So Brian wins. Good. That cements he will not win at Full Gear, I'm guessing. It wasn't a terrible show, and there's always stuff to dive into when it comes to Dynamite. Because that's the one thing. They always have a bunch of stuff going on that needs to be dissected. But goddamn, sometimes this show is a mess. So, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. Also, the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be back posting the Dynamite review Thursday morning, afternoon, just so you know. Anyway, I'm Jonathan. I'll see you soon.